halftime. And again, without Brian Gallagher, Hawk Rehrman, in all honesty, it was all New York enforcers. In fact, Texas didn't even get a point till the second period.
Well, the Fountainboro lineup looked like they were butchers in the Queens in that first half. Mark D'Amato and the boys, they had the meat cleavers out all over the track in the second period. We see on the replay, Mark D'Amato bringing the cleaver. A little bit later, bringing another cleaver. Jim Washington bringing a cleaver. These guys are cutting beef. I don't know if these Texas Rustlers can take much more of this, Ken.
Now, if you're not a longtime fan of the WSL, granted the Texas Rustlers very frustrated in this first half. In all honesty, they have been frustrated all season long. Here's a look at the frustrations of the Rustlers.
The Rustlers burst onto the WSL scene with a bravado as big as Texas itself. But ever since their 45-18 drubbing by the Enforcers, the Rustlers season has turned into the last jam at the Alamo.
We try really hard. We try really, really hard.
It's just so frustrating to lose every game. We have a good team. We just need to start skating more as a team.
The Rustlers have tried just about everything to take attention away from their bank track blues.
Welcome to the Rustler Cheerleader Audition.
2, 3, 4, second group, 2, 3, 4.
And step.
All gimmicks aside, the Rustlers have shown improvement on the track, taking the Enforcers to the wire in 2 recent games.
We looked really good this week in practice. I got a good feeling about this game. I think tonight's our night.
The Texas Rustlers were hoping to put an end to their frustrations against the New York Enforcers, but so far it is not to be. Now, the lone bright spot for Texas has been the play of Brian Gallagher. In fact, Gallagher is standing by with Broadway Danny Wolf. Danny?
All right, Brian, you guys are trying to make a statement. You don't want to be the laughingstocks of this league, but you're down by 9 points at halftime. You can't be happy.
No, not happy at all, but we're ready for these guys. We've been watching them the last few games that we've lost. We've learned what they do, how to stay away from them, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, you guys have been dangerously close to upsetting the Enforcers the last 2 times you played them. It took a Tim Washington jam to defeat you last time. Have you watched the game tape?
Yeah, we have, and we learned that we have to outskate them. We can't try to muscle them.
And you have a personal statement you'd also like to make.
Yeah, I'd like to dedicate this game, to a good friend of mine, a skater who passed away recently. Roscoe, we're going to miss you, buddy.
Good luck, Brian.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Danny. Now, buddy, you were very correct when you pointed out at the beginning of the game that Brian Gallagher is the only jammer to exert a leadership role. Without Gallagher, there would be nothing to talk about when it comes to the Rustlers so far today.
Absolutely right, and he is very maneuverable, and he takes advantage of that ability.
Were you a little surprised that it took him till the final jam of the period to really get into his game?
I was a little surprised, without a doubt, but you never know with these jammers. Whatever the opening is there, they bang it out. And I'll tell you what, let's take a look at how he bangs it out, and Gallagher does the job here. He's already slid by for 1 point already. Now he jumps to the outside. Watch the swoop down here. This is really nice. Comes in, but he got hit in the face, by the way. Bang. That's a no-no. Now he's on the bottom of the track, comes sliding through. Now watch this little move. Puts his arm up and pushes the man out of the way. Now the swoop up is this is nice. Now a little spin around. He's checking out the other guys back there. He stops. He makes the maneuver again. He's now set them all up. He comes to the inside. Watch the jump to the outside. Now watch this move. This is a nifty. He does a double step and then swoop down again. Squat, misses it. And who's he coming up against? Mr. Washington. Gallagher knows better. Bam, he stops. That's nice.
There is absolutely no question the Enforcers were as physically intimidating as any team we've seen, but thankfully the Texas Rustlers may be finally crawling back into this one. Hawk, if you're New York, what do you change for the second half, if anything?
Well, you don't change anything, number one. And number two is the second half is going to be all about jammer endurance. Heather Gunn needs to run out of gas, and Brian Gallagher needs to keep it up if these Texas Rustlers are going to have a chance, Ken.
With a score of the New York Enforcers 15, the Texas Rustlers 6. We'll be back with a third period right after this. Welcome back, everyone. It's the New York Enforcers 15, the Texas Rustlers 6. The key is going to be, can the Rustlers build on the final 4 points of the period scored by Brian Gallagher? There you see 41, Tom Chasik, skating in his first game in the WSL, scored the first point for Texas. The Texas Rustler women have got to get something going. They were shut out the entire first period by the Enforcer women. As you see, starting off again, it's Heather Gunn, a very uncharacteristic, physical Heather Gunn we have seen. But this time, 48, Talisa Miller takes down Gunn. Now Miller closing in, trying to pick up some points for the Texas Rustlers. We talked about it at halftime. The first 1 or 2 jams of the second half, very key for Texas to get off to a good start. Now you see Gunnan back. Miller goes around her. Gets a point on the board because Gunnan has not lapped the pack. Shelly Roselle never got out. So 2 points on the board. Now remember the WSL, once you pass a blocker, the point stays on the board, even if the blockers get back out in front. Miller doing a phenomenal job for the Texas Rustlers, weaving her way back and forth throughout this pack, and now finally cuts it off after getting by the entire New York Enforcer contingent. 5 points for Miller as Karen Magnuson visibly upset, but suddenly Texas is within 4.
Well, and Ken, we always talk about these Texas Rustlers being hot and cold, but one thing that they are when they are hot and cold is even when they get way down, they have an uncanny knack of still keeping a positive attitude and scoring points. We saw Talisa Tink Miller show it right here. Heck, Ken, they were down by a bunch of points, and she closed that gap quick with some great skating.
Many times we've seen Texas show flashes of brilliance, but can't seem to string more than 1 jam together. We'll see if they can build on it right now. And this is coming out. This is Blevins along with Linda Leisure as they come around the track. The Texas Rustlers, and here comes Laurel Heisler. The Rustlers have 2 skaters out. Edie Bo Bowman went down. Looks like she caught a skate. There you see her trying to get back onto the track. And right now, that's 2 points for the Rustlers. Bowman has already been lapped, so Texas continuing this offensive show. And now, and again, it's Heiser battling it out with Linda Leisure. As they come around the corner, there you see the physical play of Leisure, drops Heiser. Now Renee Blevins comes up. The Texas Rustlers gaming, trying to get back in this one. You see Janet Abraham coming off the track, some kind of injury. That's yet another point as Blevins went by her. The Rustlers almost, and I don't even think Linda Leisure, as Heiser goes by. Leisure doesn't realize she's got 2 teammates on the track, doesn't cut the jam off, and unbeknownst to Leisure, the Texas Rustlers put 6 points on the board.
But it's a tough break for the Enforcers, Ken. Linda Leisure had no idea her teammates were down. The Rustlers were able to score points. Unbelievable. Danny Williams with Tim Washington.
Tim, I know you can't believe this. You guys are trailing by 2 points.
No, I don't believe it either. No, not at all.
Well, you're taking this team too lightly. You may be looking ahead to the Founders Cup tournament.
Look. We're not taking anybody lightly here. This is a little warm-up for us for the Founders Cup, okay? That's all. You got it?
Got it.
Get out of here now.
There's no question Tim Washington and all the Enforcers have got to be in shock. Now, Buddy, the Enforcers talked about using this game as a tune-up. In the first period and a half, it was exactly that, but suddenly they are off their game. Physical mistakes and uncharacteristically